So Jared, we're talking divisional state, right? And I'm heading to Marysville this year, right? And hopefully I make it to February this year, right? That's when it's in February, right? But talk about the divisional state at you're splitting sites now, right? So just give me a quick, brief synopsis of what divisional states is in OAC and what the goal is in that.
Okay. So 2 years ago, we started with the first year. It was just junior high and your Division 4, your 6th grade division at Marysville. Sean Andrews and staff down there are awesome. They run a lot of tournaments. They do a lot of freestyle. They do a lot of camps. They just know wrestling. So we ran there 2 years ago, capped it out at 550 kids. Like I said, the only two division. And it's designed similar to the high school state tournament where you have we call it kind of old school, Class A, AA, AAA. So think baseball. AAA is your D1 high school wrestling. Your AA is D2, and then single A is your Division 3 high school program.
That's what the divisions in Ohio used to be up until 1986.
Right.
From like 73 to 86, they had a three.
There's two.
There was only two in 72. 72 was last year. They had two, and then it was all one division at one point, right in the 60s, 50s, and 60s, and then of course, it's really tough to win, right? And then there's more opportunity. There's more divisions. There's more qualifiers, right? That's what you do with that, right?
And that's kind of what, with our regular state, the OAC state grade school and junior high 1 division, it's obviously competitive as heck, as we know. But so this is a way for those guys to see, okay, here's who I'm going to be wrestling in the next, 6, 8, 4 years, whatever it is. So, and then way for your, maybe you're not elite guys. All right, now we're extending our season and we have something to go down there and wrestle. And I'm not wrestling the same kid every weekend, right? Your studs are not wrestling the same guys. So that was the intent when we started that 2 years ago. Last year we added 4th grade. So it's a little different because we do junior high and then we call it 6th grade and we call it 4th grade. Where the other ones, it's usually 6th and 4th, but it's straight age-based. So this is grade-based. Last year, 750 kids. It was busting at the seams. We knew it was going to be packed, and it was a packed day. So this year we're adding a 2nd grade and under, and actually moving it to a couple of sites. So Marysville will still have the Class AAA and AA, your D1, D2 schools, and then Hilliard Darby will have the single A. So
they'll have the small schools.
Small school, exactly.
So St. Mary's, the school you went to, would be single A.
Right, correct.
Right. Ashtabula St. John would be single A. Edison single A. Right. So on and so Genoa, Oak Harbor, right? The Swanton, those are single A schools.
Right.
And if you're looking like Columbus single A, you'd be talking about like Thomas Christian Worthington, right? Right. Those are the small schools, right?
So it's just like the high school.
Barnesville's a small school. They're here, for example.
Right.
So, big school would be Mentor.
Right.
Whitmer would be a big school, right? We can, if you're looking at, it would be like Mason would be a big school.
Right.
Moeller would be a big school, right?
They'd be all class AAA at Marysville then.
Graham would be D2, the middle division, D2, right? So if you're looking at the D2 schools, Perry, Northeast Ohio, Perry.
Yeah, they're here.
Right, the Perry Pirates, though.
Yeah, they're here.
Perry Pirates, right? They would be Division 2. That's just giving you examples, right? Okay, so I love the concept. And it's more opportunity, and someone like, let's just give an example. Nathan Tomasello never won your junior high state tournament, right? It's all combined. Ben Darmstadt never won your junior high state tournament. Mick Burnett never won your junior. Those guys are pretty good. They're really good, right? We're talking about two guys right there. We're talking about NCAA champion and a D1 All-American, right? Mick Burnett's a top 5 guy at 138 pounds. They're really good guys. So now those guys have an opportunity to get a state title under their belt. I think it's a confidence builder as well, right? Mat time, right?
And it's towards the end of the season, right? If you're not the elite guy, you didn't, you're like, oh, cash, they don't want to cash it in, or they don't want to be done with their season. A way to extend their season, practice with their partners. You might, all right, I know I'm not the elite guy, but I'm going to hang out with my buddies. We're going to, get a couple of matches in February. It's actually earlier this year too, so it's a way for them to get some mat time, and it's not the same guys. A lot of times you see those guys wrestling the same guys every weekend, so it kind of changes it up a little bit.
Yeah, so. I remember Crace and D'Amelio in the finals all the time, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at that, and they would be different divisions. Is my point though? Even if the Crace's school he ended up at Ball Fountain, right? He'd still been a Division II guy, and him and D'Amelio wouldn't have been scrapping every week. All right. Here's the next thing. I think a lot of people confuse this with we're trying to build the leadership qualities, the work ethic, the things that then you go on to the next level in life, right? And you can do that starting in elementary and junior high. For example, I was talking to Coach Bono last night in Wisconsin. They're flying all over the country every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They're mirroring.
All over the place.
Yes, they're mirroring a corporate. Like if you're a bloodthirsty capitalist corporate, right, and you're flying all over the world, and they're adding a layer on top of it. There's weight cutting, right? There's winning,
Academics,
right? Academics. There's all these layers that they've added to it. So if you're going to Wisconsin, you're ready to run a Fortune 500. There's no question.
Time management. Right?
Time management, right? Like we're talking about all this stuff. Like we're trying to help people at an early age, rather than like the Miller kids, my kids. I'm not guessing they're not going to be like the Cater brothers, right? Those guys are freaks. They won the OACs. I think that some people get really confused. Everybody just wants to be the elite level guy.
Yeah.
But being a divisional placer teaches you a lot of things.
Right.
Really teaches you a lot of things. And you're not discouraged because you're around a 32 guy. And I went 2 in Skidoo at the junior high state.
Yeah.
But then you take 6 at the Division II divisionals, right? The AA, sorry. Right?
Right.
I think that's important.
Right.
Would you agree with that?
I agree.
And it's kind of why it's designed, right?
Right. Just like high school, it's the same kind. You got, youth wrestling Ohio has expanded, every year increased, participation. At least we see at our levels, and this is a good way to kind of, okay, here's, your elite guys can still compete, but here's, the mediocre guy. Okay, I can compete here.
I like it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to go and cover the championship.
Yeah.
As long as I make it to February.
Yeah, you make it. And what you get to do if you do state dual weekend. So
State dual weekend.
so
Hopefully
people
we can
come
pair that, right?
Yeah, pair that up. Or even if you're coming down, you wrestle, and then you go watch the finals that night. If you're a parent that wants to see, come compete, and then you get to go watch the state duels at night.
I like it. I like how you guys did that. That's smart.
So.
Logistics, Jared. That's your thing. All right, we got to talk about a couple other things here, all right?